No way to know where he was in his strange, strange mind. Astrid hadn't hugged Sam when he said he was leaving. Hadn't touched him. So, that had been Sam's evening. Astrid and little Pete. And the twinned, undead creature Orc and Howard kept watch over. If Drake somehow escaped, there were probably only two people who could take him on. Sam himself and Orc. Sam needed Orc to act as Drake's jailer. So, he had ignored the bottles beside Orc's couch and confiscated only the one in plain view on a kitchen counter. "I'll dump this," Sam had told Howard. "You know it's illegal." Howard shrugged and smirked a little. Like he'd known. Like he'd seen some gleam of greed and need in Sam's eye. But Sam himself hadn't known. He had intended to smash the bottle or dump it out on the street. Instead, he had carried it with him. Through the dark streets. Past burned-out houses and their ghosts. Past the graveyard. Down to the beach. He'd cracked the seal, ready to pour it out on the sand. Instead, he'd taken a sip. It burned like fire. He took another sip. It burned less this time. He headed up the beach. He knew in his heart where he was going now. He knew his feet were taking him to the cliff. Now, many sips later, he stood swaying at the top of the cliff. The effect of the booze was undeniable. He knew he was drunk. He looked down at the small arc of beach at the base of the cliff. The slight surge painted luminescent curves on the dark sand. Right here, right where he was standing, Mary had led the preschoolers in a suicide leap. All that kept those kids alive was Decca's heroic effort. Now, Mary was gone. "Here's to you, Mary," Sam said. He upended the bottle and drank deep. He had failed Mary. From the start, she'd taken charge of the littles and run the daycare. She'd carried that load almost alone. Sam had seen the effects of her anorexia and bulimia, but he hadn't realized what was happening to her, or hadn't wanted to. He'd heard nervous gossip that Mary was grabbing whatever meds she could find, anything she thought would ease her depression. He hadn't wanted to know about that either. Most of all, he should have seen what Narrator was up to. Should have questioned. Should have pushed. Should have. Should have. Should have. Another deep swallow of liquid fire. The burning made him laugh. He laughed down at the beach where Orsay, the false prophet, had died. "Goodbye, Mary," he slurred, raising his bottle in a mock toast. "Least you got out of here." For a split second, on the day that Mary poofed, the barrier had been clear. They had seen the world outside, the observation platform, the TV satellite truck, the construction underway on fast food places and cheap hotels. It had seemed very, very real. But had it been? Astrid said no, just another illusion. But Astrid was not exactly addicted to the truth. Sam swayed at the edge of the cliff. He ached for Astrid. The booze had not dulled.